'Tis the season for changing real estate brokerages. If you are an agent who is currently on the hunt for a new real estate broker or looking for an upgrade, you are not going to want to miss today's video. I'm covering the 14 must-ask questions when you are interviewing real estate brokers. These questions will ultimately help you land in a place that's best suited for you. And I always want to start out by saying there is no right or wrong when it comes to a real estate brokerage. It all comes down to what works best for you, and there's so many varying opinions out there. This brokerage is the best, that brokerage is the best. It's a lot of noise to work through. Be sure to stick around until the end of the video. In my opinion, number 11 and number 14 are the most important questions you are going to ask when you are interviewing brokers. Welcome back to the channel. If you're one of my regular viewers, it's always great to have you. If you're new here, my name's Amanda, and if you are looking to grow your real estate business without ever making a cold call, you are in the right place. Before I dive into the questions, I think it's important to first acknowledge that the real estate market, it is changing, and it's changing fast. There are a lot of things happening, things are evolving, there's commission lawsuits, there's low inventory, there's high interest rates, there's just a lot going on. So I think that that's an important note to make because that's not going to change anytime soon, and it should play a factor into who you are aligning with for your brokerage. Because the sad truth is, in the next 6 to 12 months, there are some brokers that they're not going to be around anymore. It's just the harsh truth of the market that we are in. So keep that in mind when you are shopping brokerages. Today's questions are ultimately going to help you filter through and make the best decision that works for you in your new brokerage. And this goes for whether you are a brand new agent and shopping brokerages to find your very first home, or if you've been in the business for some time and you're looking for an upgrade. So let's get into these questions. The first one, of course, it's about money. What are you paying your broker? And again, there's no right or wrong, but I see a lot of new agents make the mistake of, I'm going with 100% brokerage. First of all, there really is no 100% brokerage, and I would include EXP in that. That's where I am, and I see a lot of agents out there say, oh, it's 100%, oh, it's 100%. Yes and no. If you cap, yes, it's more than 100%, but if you don't, it's not. And that's the case with a lot of other brokerages. It's also important to keep in mind that you get what you pay for. So if you are not getting the support you need, not getting the guidance you need, and you are closing 0 deals, you are making 0 money. So really keep that in mind when you are shopping for a broker. It comes down to, what are you going to gain from your broker that's in return going to translate into closed business for you? If you're already with a brokerage and are looking at what you're paying your broker, be sure to also keep in mind to look at your current income. Is it up? Is it down? Is it flat? That could be a direct impact of the environment and the atmosphere that you are in. Perhaps where you are is negatively impacting your income, or maybe it's positively impacting your income. You really want to look at your numbers though, especially if you are already licensed, and even if you've only been in the business a year or two, look and see what your income's doing. Number 2 is, are you the best agent in your office? And I know you might be thinking, what kind of question is that? But hear me out, it's important. If you are the top dog in your office, you're winning awards left, right, and center, you are not being challenged, you are just the top in that office and not surrounded by others that you would like to be more like, who are more successful than you, more experienced than you, my recommendation is to put yourself in a room where there are others that are far more successful and experienced than you are. That's how we learn and grow. It's one thing to be a big fish in a small pond, but if you aren't challenging yourself, it really doesn't mean a whole lot. So you want to make sure that you are putting yourself in the right rooms to maximize your potential. Next up is, what is the environment like at your brokerage? Is it positive where everyone lifts each other up and supports each other? Or is it negative and like a cancer, it's spreading throughout the office, or even if it's virtual, spreading throughout your workplace groups? What's everybody talking about? Are they still positive about the market, or are they complaining and saying, oh, this is the worst market ever, no homes are selling? All of that negativity can really seep into your mindset, and it will inevitably impact your production. So take a look around you, see what everybody is talking about, see what may be seeping into your subconscious. Hopefully it's good, but if it's negative, it might be time to make a change. Next is, does your broker require too many meetings or non-dollar producing activities? This is a mistake that I made very early on. Aside from not interviewing brokers at all, don't be like me, that was not a good plan. But it was also a situation where I was in an office that had a lot of required meetings. I didn't know any better at the time, but they were a giant waste of time. It took me, 15 to 30 minutes to drive to the office. Then I had to sit in the meeting for an hour, hour and a half. Drive back home, you've got to get ready to get there. There's a whole process. So if you are in a brokerage that has a lot of required meetings or anything that is required but is not a non-dollar producing activity, I would really reevaluate what that's doing to serve you and your business. And if your answer is nothing, well, you might want to think about looking into other options. Number 5 is, does your broker shoot down non-traditional ideas? And I hear about this a lot. I experienced it very early on in my career. I was told the only way to be successful is to cold call. Even just saying that still makes me cringe 15 years later. And it's important in today's real estate industry to constantly be evolving. If we don't evolve, we will become extinct. So that means being open to ideas that are non-traditional. And if your broker is, maybe giving you a hard time about doing video or social media or all the other various non-traditional ideas that are out there for lead generation, and that's where you really feel that you're going to excel and succeed, maybe you are not in the right place to be able to reach your maximum potential. Number 6 is your broker nickel and diming you? This is another one that I have recently seen a lot of comments and posts about in the various real estate Facebook groups that are out there, that brokers are adding in fees, whether it's monthly fees or costs to print items or admin fees. And I get it, everybody's running a business here, but nobody wants those additional fees dumped onto them. At least I don't as an agent. So you really want to take a look at what are you paying each month outside of whatever your commission split is. That's important, but we took a look at that in number 1. But also look at what other fees are coming out of your deals as you close them, or what recurring monthly fees do you have whether you close a deal or not. And then take an honest look at it and see if you feel it's fair. Number 7 is, does your broker offer minimal support? If you have or really have ever had trouble getting support, getting your questions answered, whether it's during normal operating hours or it's real estate hours and 7, 8 o'clock at night, when you're an agent working for a brokerage, you should always be able to get in touch with someone within reason. I'm not saying, midnight, there's nothing that needs to be done then, but I would say between 7 a.m. and 9 p.m., you should be able to get support from your broker or the person that they have running the office. And if your answer to that is no, I've been left high and dry, well, you might want to look into some other options that are out there. Number 8 is, does your broker have an iBuyer program? And an iBuyer program really has become such a great value add when you are going on listing presentations. There are quite a few of the larger brokerages that have them, and even some of the smaller brokerages in our area are adding them. Even if your seller isn't interested in just going the quick route and going for a cash offer, wow, does it help set you apart when you're in that listing presentation saying, hey, Mr. Seller or Mrs. Seller or Miss Seller, I've got options for you. We can go the traditional route, but I also have this iBuyer program. And if you are competing with multiple agents on a listing appointment and you don't have that, it's going to put you at a slight disadvantage simply because you just don't have it on your menu of services to be able to offer. Next up is, does your broker offer revenue share? Note, not profit share, revenue share. And I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole on this. I'm just going to say having an additional stream of passive income in your real estate business is just icing on the cake. It's really nice to get those checks, even if it's not every month. Maybe you just have a few agents that you have shared an opportunity with. Or even if you have, hundreds of agents, whatever it is, I've never known anybody who doesn't like a little bit of passive income coming in every month. And it's just nice to know that you have another income stream other than you closing deals. Number 10 is, does your broker offer the opportunity to purchase discounted stock or offer stock awards? And again, this goes back to just having a little bit more income that's a separate stream from you closing deals. It's a win-win. You really, of course, have to look into whether or not you are interested in buying the stock. There's no guarantees there. But if somebody wants to give me a stock award simply for doing what I would already be doing at any other brokerage, sign me up. Number 11 is a really big one in my opinion, and that is, does your broker offer lead generation support? And I know you're probably wondering, what do you mean by lead generation support? There are tons of brokerages out there who provide leads, and that's great. It's nice to have, but I would much rather be with a brokerage that not only do they provide leads, but also they teach me how to generate my own leads. If you are a brand new agent, this is really important. If you're seasoned and you already know how to generate your own leads, probably not as important. But if you are looking to learn the ropes, get your lead generation ideas in place and running, this is really important. You have that guidance and support that can get you started and get you essentially learning how to fish, not just feeding you. Number 12 is your brokerage focused on agent experience and growth? And I think that this is important no matter what stage of real estate that you are in. You want to align with a brokerage that is invested in not only you having a great experience being there, but also expanding your knowledge and your expertise. Next is your brokerage international? And this one actually came as a shock to me. I've actually never asked a brokerage this when I have interviewed with them, but I think it's important because being international not only opens up the possibility of more referrals coming to you, but it gives you an existing network to refer to. And in the past 3 years, I have made more international referrals than I have in my entire real estate career combined. It is an evolving world out there. People are having second homes or even moving out of the United States altogether for retirement. And it makes life so much easier when you can come to your clients and say, hey, I've got a great resource for you in this person in this area, and it makes it seamless for them. I saved the best question for last. Number 14, are you excited about working for and being at your brokerage? For so many years before I had my own brokerage, I thought it was just normal to go, it's just a brokerage, doesn't really matter, perfectly normal. It's not normal. You should absolutely be excited about where you work, excited about the direction the company is going in, and also to be excited that you are a part of it and that your opinion is valued and matters. That's really important. Don't go work anywhere and don't stay somewhere, no matter what career you're in, where you're just kind of like, it is what it is. That's not how it should be. There is absolutely better options out there that will bring that excitement back for you. And there you have it, 14 essential questions to ask when you are on the hunt for a new brokerage. Keep in mind, there is no one size fits all, period, end of story. There is not a brokerage that's best for every single agent. That's why you have options. The important thing is that you really dial into your thought process and how your business operates so that you're able to find the best place for you and your business. If you got some value from today's video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. It always helps me out and I greatly appreciate it. And until I see you on the next one, take care.